Hello and welcome to the election stream of September 2021. I am your host, Bradwood, and we have two fine hosts. We have, of course, Jim Butterson and Mr. Hersey. How about y'all introduce yourself?
Well, you know who I am. My name is James. I'm Hersey, and I'm good, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a hard-fought campaign on all sides. I'm very glad I'm here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Jim Butterson, Vice President Chief of Staff. PBN, it's great to be here. It's looking like a great night. We got a lot of great candidates to go over. And I'm really looking forward to the results.
As am I. I think it's going to be a very interesting race.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Just announced presidential results are going to be coming up last.
And, of course, the broadcast tonight is in part brought to you by the wonderful Krish News Broadcasting Network. We are not the only ones in this enterprise, but we are very happy to help out and are very proud to be a part of this endeavor.
Election stream also brought to you by the American Union and with guests from everywhere around, including Pluribus Broadcasting Network.
And we also tonight, Ladarian, he.
At all, we've got our first.
Ladarian's back in.
We've got our first results in from Olympia Senate. Got our first results in from Olympia Senate. Senator Solomon wins with 96.45%. Senator Sullivan wins his re-election.
Well, let's add this. It's not a surprise. I think Solomon's by far one of the most popular senators in the Senate, of course. And not surprisingly, it's a very low write-ins. Usually write-ins could get up to 5 to 6%, but down to 3.5%. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, he ran over the poll, so he's going to win anyway. But it's very nice to see that he had that much experience. It's a very telltale sign.
Yeah, in a recent poll, Solomon had a 68.4% approval rating with a 0% disapproval rating. The rest of those, of course, being unsure.
Is anyone there?
Shut. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Hersey, we can hear you. Having a little troubles in the studio.
Sorry about that.
We are good. We are good now. Minor technical difficulties.
Now, give me your thoughts about the Solomon race. Obviously, it wasn't really close, of course. Write-ins with 3.5% and Solomon gained the rest of them. What are your thoughts on Solomon as a senator and his reassurance of how good Solomon is?
My view on this is I can liken, and I have the experience of likening this back to the election of Francis Vito, the first independent president since Washington. Political independent, but his actions and personality drove many from all political aisles to support him. Sometimes over the party of their own candidate. And it's no different here, you know. Shelby Mountbatten is no doubt a very accomplished man.
And Mountbatten was running as a write-in.
Right, but I think his little campaigning and write-in status made any election of his nearly insurmountable. That given that Solomon has, despite his independent status, been a very accomplished man who, as pointed out, people don't have an issue with. No one was clamoring to get him out and remove him. And therefore his re-election was an easy thing to come across.
Solomon definitely won, and soon we're going to have even more results. But I think I quickly want to talk about the presidential race because we've seen early snippets of results the results coming in, and I'd say it's pretty close. But one of the most interesting things is about the vote in Lincoln. Both Pluribus and Konnor Harris are from the District of Lincoln, yet they didn't win their states according to the early results. Will that stay? I have no idea. But what are y'all thoughts on it? Because I find it very alarming that they can't win the home district.
Are you hungry?
Any thoughts about the presidential race in Lincoln and the early results, not official results?
Well, personally, I think people are. I think people are honestly still getting used to this whole idea. Past recent elections have not had the electoral college as anything anyone gave credence to. I mean, the rules have stayed the same the entire time. But now there's an increased focus on the electoral college from outside sources that can't be named. But I think that this election is certainly has certainly already thrown a wrench in things. And whatever side doesn't end up on top, if the electoral college has anything to say about it or any play in it, there's going to be chaos.
Breaking news, we have Lego as the next governor of Olympia with 74.4% of the vote, with write-ins about 25.6%. So a decent amount of write-ins for the Olympia governor, but Lego, a very popular governor in Olympia, has retained his status. So he is going to end up being the next governor of Olympia.
I think that's fascinating.
I want to talk about those write-ins for a second.
Yes, that was horrendous. That threw our most stable state into an unmitigated chaos.
But it's very interesting to see that the write-ins were 25.6% of the vote. Now, we cannot forget, even though he wasn't governor at the time, acting Governor Darby signed the Communist Bill into law, and that definitely took an effect on his administration.
I think it did as well. I think, yeah. I mean, you see 25. You don't see often unopposed opponents getting 25% of their vote going to write-ins.
I think the real winner of this election is Hull. Is Joseph Hull, who now gets to go on and add yet another token to his already massive career. He's served as governor of not Olympia. He served as governor of Lincoln when it was District 3. He served in almost every possible role you can, and now he's going to go on to serve as lieutenant governor. A small office, but yet another token in his massive career. His ledger and his resume never seems to end with the amount of things he's done, and I think he's the real winner of this race, because even after all of the scandals that the Lego administration had to suffer, ultimately it wasn't his fault. He was in a coma, and Mr. Darby was thrown off the ticket. So we knew he was going to win the election since no one was on the ballot to challenge him. But with Hull taking over as lieutenant governor, he's the real winner tonight of that race.
I have to agree with Hersey here.
I do too, but I think it's very interesting that it's a kind of big of a what-if scenario. That what if he did win unopposed and had a candidate to oppose him? I think we could see a very different race, even though Lego had nothing to do with the controversy of his administration. But yet again, he still reigns as Olympia governor, and hopefully will reunite the insurance with the people, that they won't take the private property away. I think that's a big thing. There needs to be some assurance, because when that bill was signed into law, chaos would ensue, because there was a lot of uncertainty, especially about the term what private property is going to be taken. Most saw property, but some thought the guns as well. So obviously that breaks the Second Amendment rights. So definitely was a very alarming situation, but now it's resolved, and he's still governor. So I think that's probably one of his goals in the administration.
Honestly, I think if someone had ran against him, they would have had a chance to take him down. If I were Shelby Mountbatten, for example, I might have actually run against him again using the chaos that was so quickly created by his administration to, say why you shouldn't reelect this man.
I have to agree with the huge percentage of write-ins. He might have actually had a chance at
He probably could have done it with some campaigning. He would have made it. He could have made it good.
Campaigning, good ads, good speeches.
Wonderful. I await his arrival.
We've just gotten word that Joseph Hall will be joining us on the stream.
Joseph Hall.
Newly elected Lieutenant Governor Hall will be joining us in just a few moments.
Lieutenant Governor-elect Joseph Hall.
Thank you for correcting me.
Lieutenant Governor-elect. I think it was a very smart move, but obviously an obvious move to get rid of Darby. Darby's career, to say point blank, it's kind of over. Removed from the Democratic Party, now independent, and citing one of the most craziest bills, in my opinion, in American history. Very vague. So, it's very interesting to see.
It really is. I have to agree. Well, I will. We're on the topic of Olympia. Let's talk about some state legislature races. I mean, obviously, definitely, on the top of the ballot. On the ballot is Natalia Poklonskaya, who was recently arrested and is currently in jail, if I'm not mistaken.
I will point out we are currently receiving a request from the current president of the United States, Holly June Tower, to join this broadcast as of now. Welcome, Mr. Joseph Hall. I will invite the president of the United States to the stream if no one has any objection. None will be taken.
I second.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Yes.
Welcome, Mr. Hall. Welcome. It's great to have you.
Welcome, Joseph. It's good to have you.
It really is.
Oh,
so, while you were joining, we were talking about the Olympia state legislature races.
Yes.
On the top of the ballot, obviously Cryptic, Alexis Collins, Matthew Fields, Dan Sullivan, all well-known people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, I think
more well-known, more
yeah. But
infamous people such as James McIntyre, Joshua McIntyre.
With the Olympia issues, we've seen Olympia before this month has been extremely stable as a state. Just this month, something changed, and I don't know what it was really, but I think that rather quickly Olympia has fallen. As the Post said, I think, as somebody did.
Roll credits.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, props to the governor, my new boss, or continued boss. We worked extremely quickly to shut down the Communism Act and to put in a state of emergency to help stop what was going on, and then worked extremely quickly to help stop the attempt by people like Natalia and Hersey to undermine our election. So I think that we've shown ourselves already to be a good group of people, and I think that this next month or two, these next 2 months, will be very good for Olympia.
I think one thing I'm kind of concerned with, I think the Communist Act, even though they worked very quickly, it was still signed. Leo trusted the party as a local governor, and they voted it in to not do something as radical, right? So I think that's it's going to always be a stain on Lego, even though we have nothing to do with it. The party next election round will probably have stiff competition from the right. What do you have to say about that?
Well, all I can say is that all I ask is for the electorate to judge us by our actions. And I think that, as we can see, Lego was not in a position to respond. He had a heart attack. He was in hospital. I mean, maybe it was a mistake to appoint Darby, and I can see why the electorate would be would see an issue there. But Lego acted swiftly to remove him from the ticket, to ensure that there wouldn't be Derby for another 2 months, and moved to appoint somebody who'd shown themselves to be capable in the cabinet. I think that this next month will be make or break for Olympia and for the Democrats in Olympia. And I think if we can get it right, we may be able to see another 2 months of Democrat rule, whether that's under Lego continuing on as governor, or whether it's under some successor. I don't know, but I definitely think that we can hold on if we do well this month, and I think we will.
If I may, I think personally a lot of people feel deceived because prior to this, there wasn't much indication that Darby was the kind of person who would do any of that. I don't think anyone got any of that idea. It would be like if Holly Towers signed a bill that instituted, a one-party fascist state. That's not the kind of thing you'd expect her to do.
Are we sure about that?
Well, she did that. That'd be a complete curveball because that's not in her character. So Darby doing this is completely out of character. We didn't expect it. We didn't see it coming. I don't think anyone did. So that's why, when the bill passed, not many people were afraid because no one actually expected him to sign it. And the fact that he did, it's like a was like a kick in the nuts and a punch in the jaw because we didn't see it coming.
I can very much agree with you there. I mean, I was extremely surprised when I saw that it was signed, and that's why I acted extremely quickly to announce that that's why I moved extremely quickly to announce that that my department wasn't going to comply with the piece of legislation and would actually challenge it.
Well, right now, currently with us in the studio is the one, the only. What do I have to say anymore, right? It's the President of the United States. It is
Holly June Tower.
Brad was giving her an introduction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
thank you very much.
Interrupting him.
Thank you very much.
No one's surprised by that, but
very disappointed.
Welcome, Madam President. It's good to have you. We are very happy to have you on board.
I'm sure it is.
Now, I will let your thoughts about the Olympia race. Now, we have seen Darby did a radical approach of the Communist Act. Lego, even though he had nothing to do with it, had some consequences to 25.6% for write-in vote. And he ran unopposed, by the way. So, seeing that much write-ins for someone running unopposed is a bit alarming. But do you agree with Hull, or do you think Lego should do a different approach of paying trust back to the Olympia people?
Yes.
Miss Howard, are you there? Madam President.
God help me, why can't I be heard?
You can be heard.
Miss
Madam
Howard,
President,
President
I
Howard,
think
we
you
can hear
might have a
you.
little bit of malfunctions, but how about now?
God help me, this microphone sucks.
Governor Jake Taylor.
Of course.
So I guess I would think results from the Olympia State Legislature race are coming out pretty soon. So that'll be interesting to look over. I'm not candidates list. We got Cryptic, Alexis Collins, Natalia, Matthew Fields, Dan Sullivan, McIntyre.
She is, yeah. I arrested her.
Yeah, Natalia is in jail.
It is.
God bless Krishnus.
God bless Krishnus.
Yeah, I designed it.
Yes, he.
So
yes, he did. He did a wonderful job.
I'm
Thank you.
here.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm
Hersey.
8 minutes from giving a speech at the White House. I thought I'd stop by to say, good. I'm so happy.
Fantastic. Now please stop talking.
Yeah, please. It's so confusing.
Yeah, because like no one can hear you except us.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, we were talking about the Olympia legislature.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Matthew Fields for a minute. Isn't he Isn't he Speaker of the Assembly?
He is. Yeah.
I don't know much. I've heard that he might be a good one.
He is. Yeah. So I mean, I've been working with him quite closely in the last few days to try and shut down this this bill, which would have completely obliterated election fairness. Yeah, he's very good at his job.
Actually, I'm just noticing something else on this candidate list that I have. There's no pirates running in this election.
We may see some write-ins though. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. It seems that the pirates have almost fallen off the map in terms of elections.
It does seem like they've lost a bit of steam, a bit of pace. I mean,
pirate activist Richard Cheney seems, ever since he disappeared, seems that they've
vanished.
Yes.
What do we think of? I mean, I don't know too much about this on the right, but I know that there was an alliance between the Pirate Party and the Republicans. Has that fallen through? Because if so, that could be.
Yeah. So I was chair of the Frontier Right Alliance, an alliance between Frontier Republicans and Libertarians. During my time as chair, I decided that pirates' views were too centrist and didn't align with the views of the FRA, and they were. We decided not to be involved and form an alliance with the pirates.
Right, but at the higher level, at the party level, has there been? I know, like, there was an agreement.
There was an agreement between the Republican Party and the Pirate Party. However, the RNC decided to void that agreement.
Right. So that could be a reason why here we're not seeing very many pirates, because they just don't have that support base anymore. Because I think we can pretty much agree the only way they were able to take a lot of their seats in the last elections were with Republican support.
I have to agree with that, yeah. And I think we're still waiting on the Olympian state-led results. I think those are going to be the next ones to come out.
It does seem that they may be controversial.
I'm looking at something else that's quite interesting. Frontier Senate race, 3 independents are currently running, none recognized by their parties. Hersey, formerly a Republican, recently expelled. James Brumman, a Libertarian, not recognized by the party. And Morales, a pirate, also not recognized by the party in the elections. So all running as independents. I think it's going to be quite an interesting race. Who do you think's got the best chance at winning that race, Hall?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. We've seen Hersey in these last elections, and I'm sorry, in the last term in the House. Some bad things happen, and I think that will very much negatively affect the views of the people here.
Almost negatively modify his chances.
Yeah. It's going to negatively affect well, people aren't going to see him in the same light they would have if he hadn't have been speaker.
Go on.
No,
you continue. No, you continue.
Okay. When you look at James, for example, Brumman, whilst he hasn't been the best ethically or in following procedure, he has shown himself to have an excellent knowledge of procedure.
Oh,
Oh,
and
it
we're
is the results.
beginning to get election
Oh my
results.
God! From Olympia State Ledge.
Olympia. It looks like Figueroa, Collins, Cryptic, Fields, Sullivan. She did
Talia.
not get elected with 1%.
Wow, she did not get
Point
elected.
for her. She did not get elected back to the state legislature.
With Rocket with 1% of the total.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, she has been elected to the state legislature.
Oh right. That's a shame. But looking here, we do see that. I mean, I don't think she'll be a member of that state legislature for very long. But looking here, we see that the write-in has done better than Natalia here.
With only 0.53% more voting for Daniel Sullivan. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
I think that we can expect Pacifica results in next. As I'm looking at this sheet that contains all the candidates. But I think Fields, I'm surprised by the lack of votes that he received in this race.
But one thing I'm very concerned with, let's talk about the Olympia State, like that Sullivan. I think a very well-known Democrat, if I'm being honest, only had 1.53% of the vote. So honestly, not a lot of people voted.
I see what you're saying there, Brad. But I think that if we look at Sullivan's past here, and we look at his attempt to oust Speaker Reyes, we might see some reasons why the voters don't want to vote for them as much.
I could definitely see that, but we see Cryptic, the author of the Communist Bill, get 8.43. It seems like the radical voters of Olympia is still pretty active, even after a very controversial bill came to the governor's desk and signed. Still a good amount of support, and Cryptic is still going to be a state legislator. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and I think I may be, but if I'm not, every one of these is from the left, either the Democratic or Socialist parties here. Is that right?
Well, besides Alex Collins, which is the only Republican.
Oh, Collins. Right. But
Collins
still,
is the only one really supporting the right, because Cryptic is obviously a socialist. We got Natalia kind of being removed from the Democrats. I don't really count her. Fields is a Dem. Frutonia, very popular independent, running as independent. Sullivan, obviously Democrat, and I can't spell it. It's McIntyre. McIntyre is independent. So, well, yeah, not a lot of people really running on the right at all in this state legislature election.
Well, there you go. Congratulations.
Brad Wood re-elected with 99.22%.
Amazing.
99.22%. Brad Wood is re-elected to the Pacifica Senate.
Wow.
Well, okay. Well, I'm not really going to talk about my race, but I'm literally just going to talk about, of course, with writings besides me is 0.78% of vote. Compared to Legos, which 25 point something. So that's where we have the lows of the write-ins and the highs of the write-ins in this election cycle, which is pretty interesting.
I think that's the closest anyone's will come to being unanimously elected to a seat, or at least for a long time. Yes.
Drew almost got unanimously re-elected to the Senate, but I'm very excited for another term in the Senate.
I enjoyed my time in the Senate serving with you, Brad. You were someone that I appreciated. You were able to understand the procedure knowledge.
You're someone I appreciated. I had quite a bit of respect for you, how you are one of the rising Rise starts your star now. New right, as I like to call it, the moderate, new, more well-liked rights after the aftermath of the Constitution Party. So you always have my respect, and I always wish you good luck on future endeavors.
Thank you, Red. I appreciate that. And breaking news, we now have out of Pacifica the governor results. Obviously, Governor Athena retained her position as governor with 95.85%, 4.15% in write-ins. But her Lieutenant Governor John Ross also winning that election. So those two are reelected in Pacifica.
Wow.
I think that something.
I'm also getting reports out of New York City. The beams are beginning to illuminate the New York City skyline, where the Twin Towers came crashing down once 20 years ago today. And it was 20 years ago and 12 hours ago on that horrific morning the tragic events of 9/11 occurred.
It is very sad to see, but I can definitely make a broader point with this, that even the towers fall down, we're still having, America is still strong. We still have a democracy. We fought against Laden, and we're here today. We're stronger. America keeps getting better. And honestly, America is looking right.
Something I do want to say here as well, though, not in regards to the terrible events of 20 years ago, but going back to Olympia, is how much of the vote someone who hasn't run for a race before has gotten here. We see these veteran members, Cryptic, Natalia, Sullivan to some extent. He was a former member of the General Ledge, and Fields, who was the president pro temp of the Ledge. But then Figueroa coming in here with almost 60% of the vote on their first race in the state is running against these veterans is very very unusual.
Ready?
And I think next we can expect the Pacifica State Legislature results. Candidates include Larry King, Logan Brown, Representative Carrot, and Brooke Calloway.
Wow.
But yeah, we got for the state legislature for Pacifica. It's quite interesting. Larry King, who surprisingly this time around ain't really running with the party, but right now he's independent, but he's definitely left leaning. He was a socialist before. Logan Brown is a Dem. Carrot, who's moderate per se, but was on the Libertarians before, and Brooke Calloway, which is kind of right in the middle. Though her thoughts and opinions would definitely be more well known at the state legislature. So they're all going to be elected, but it'll be very interesting in what order. I would probably say Larry King. He's a very popular state legislative, and he won overwhelmingly before. I believe he would do it again. But what are y'all thoughts on this?
I personally, I'll tell you now, so long as Carrot retains her seat within the legislature, I am perfectly happy and content.
And I think results are expected any moment now out of Pacifica, one of the more left liberal states of the five. And here they are. Larry King winning with 52%. Carrot retains her seat with 39%. Brooke Calloway 3.68%, and write-ins 4.5%. The people getting those votes are Mark, who has disappeared off the face of the earth, and FEMA.
Yeah, Mark, who has disappeared for a little bit, as I heard. He won't really, what's per se, he will return if I believe, but having a former president get that low of votes is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself.
Some of the next results that we can expect out of Lincoln, that state legislature race. No races in Jackson other than the presidential this month. So we'll likely go from Lincoln State Ledge to Frontier senator and state legislature, then we'll finally have the biggest results of the night. The 4 presidential candidates.
Presidential race, which we hadn't really dove right in, but I do want to talk about more, especially if we have more guests on. But who do you think is going to win the presidency race?
I think asking that question is I think that question's really bold right now. I mean, obviously all of the races, looking at the preliminary results, all the races are too close to call, especially in Frontier, with just around a 0.6% margin. I mean, the races are incredibly close. And I think that candidates just need their voters to come out this year and vote. I mean, registration is one of the most important parts of the election. If you don't have people registered, then you can't get people to vote. If you don't have them to vote, then you can't win.
My sources here, from what I've heard across the parties, is that registration has been down quite a bit this month.
That's also what I've heard. Among the Republican Party, the whipping situation, not necessarily the greatest.
And that failed them before. Let's say about 2 election cycles back, but we thought the right will take over the Senate, take over a few governorship, a lot of key races, but they just simply got blown out with registered votes, and the left did very well that election cycle, especially
with
the Democratic
former
Party.
Representative John Rudd, who is now passed away with us. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but he's no longer with us. We got an interesting race in the Frontier State Legislature. It's been completely inactive and missing for over a month, almost a month now. In fact, there is no assembly now in Frontier. The sole 2 people in Frontier, Secretary of State James Hersey and Governor One-Eyed Jack.
Good to be here. How we doing?
Jack likely on his way out in this special election. I couldn't possibly imagine anyone voting for him after what he's done.
Oh, of course not. I don't expect that at all as well. I can't agree more.
Well, if you saw the recent announcement, it looks like he won't have to worry about being removed from the legislature.
Of course, the legislature terms in Frontier are only 1 month, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So Jack will be on his way out. He's not even an assembly member at the moment now. But if he hadn't been sworn as governor after following the resignation of Laura Kelly, he'd be on his way out and not choosing to run for re-election.
I think with...
I'm getting some breaking news now. We're out of Olympia.
Olympia
presidential results. Excuse me. Sorry for all the commotion, but breaking news out of Olympia: the presidential results being announced in just a few moments.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. It's my state. I'm
the home state of presidential and vice presidential candidates Alexander J. Cross and Jake Taylor, who I thought was with us earlier, but it seems he's having some technical difficulties at the Cross campaign headquarters and was unable to be here with us tonight.
No, he was not.
See
how this ends. This is
probably extremely busy.
I would imagine. Has won Olympia with 50%. They have won their home state.
But a very, very narrow margin with Cross at 50.3%. And of course, Sporabes at 49.7%.
I think that we will see a recount here. I think
that within
this campaign?
It's
within the 1%. So Pluribus is completely within his rights here to demand a recount.
So I was completely expected to ask for a recount.
I mean, if looking at the last election, the last president or Howard's presidential election, recounts were there in abundance. So I've been The FEC,
looks like the FCC or the
It turns out
FEC
the
has told-
FCC is
the
not in the mood
FCC
for
is
any
censoring you. The FEC
The
and the
FEC has
FCC.
told them in order to quote shut the fuck up. More than
Excuse James Hersey for his
excuse
language.
with the language from a senator.
I am recounting the news as it comes in. The viewers are entitled a fair and accurate depiction of what is going on.
but yeah, like I said, it does look very. I mean, depending on what Pluribus says, we may see a recount here. I think that it'll be dependent on how the other races go, I imagine, because if Pluribus doesn't need Olympia, there's no need to waste anybody's time doing it. Say if he wins 3 states, because that's all you need to win here, 3 states. So if he wins 3 states, we might not even see a recount in Olympia. But if it's close, if it's
if it's close, and Cross like has to recount. So
yeah,
and looks like we're breaking news out of
Pacifica
Pacifica now. We're in those
liberal,
electoral
socialist,
results.
Okay, let's see how this ends.
Highly
Presidential
liberal
results are
state,
coming in right now.
highly liberal states likely that Pluribus will win, but we'll have to see as they come out.
This race is very interesting, folks. We have Cross narrowly winning the state. Let's see how much. I think Pluribus will definitely win Pacifica, but in my question, I think it'll be a 5% margin. It wouldn't be that big.
We'll have to see as Pluribus has won
Pluribus
with
has
a
taken it.
large margin
Large.
in the
Amazing.
commie kingdom of Pacifica.
the socialist paradise.
The socialist, yes, the socialist
the people of
paradise.
Pacifica would have
indeed.
liked
Socialist
enjoyed.
When Pluribus gained 58.26% of the vote, with Cross only having 41.74, which obviously is a better margin than I ever thought. I thought Cross could do better Pacifica trying to margin down the votes, but apparently not. I think that'll definitely drive the bus, hopefully for a win, but who knows? It depends about the other district, how they line up. I think
Possibly we can expect Lincoln results very soon, I would imagine. Breaking news from the FEC. Hersey has been asked to stop singing.
This is ridiculous. Again, censoring. They are censoring the results. They are censoring my beautiful voice. I have a right to sing on my network. Damn it. I have a right.
Wasn't your
Calm
network
down,
almost
Hersey.
taken over
Calm
by
down.
someone?
They commandeered it. I got it back because I am just that good.
Just kick you off my studio. Actually, part of your studio, because you're the host of I mean, not the host, of course, the owner of Kirsch News. This is a very interesting situation because I don't think I can kick you out, even if we all want to.
Well, I mean, the FCC can always come in.
I
and
am
take us
paying for
down.
this microphone.
I don't
That-
know
well,
how the
we are all
FCC is
paying-
listening in.
They are spying on us.
I mean, this is obviously
To be
broadcast
expected.
on television.
But anyway, let's talk about something very important rather than Hershey singing. The Lincoln
sucks, by the way.
That's good.
presidential. When the results coming out, it's not, of course, not official.
be
It
very
looks like
surprised.
it's a very close race with both
I mean,
Pluribus
it looks
and
like the results are
Konnor
coming up.
Harris coming from Lincoln. But having a close district like that is, I would say, very alarming from the Pluribus campaign.
And I'd say if Pluribus and Konnor can't win in Lincoln, then their chances of winning the presidential election are almost out of reach. Even though they still have 2 more states that they can win in,
Yeah.
if they can't even win in their home state,
Well, if I may,
They will-
here,
I
if
think-
I may,
please
here,
let former
Go
President
ahead.
Hall speak.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I think that if we're looking at leans here, right, we see that Olympia has gone very closely to Cross, and we see that Pacifica has gone to Pluribus, but by a smaller amount than what we expected here. If this trend carries on across the election, I mean, we look at Jackson, for example. Jackson is a pretty right state generally, and I think that it's very much leaning towards Cross, I'd say here. which really puts it all down, because if Cross wins 2 states, all he needs is 1 more. And how close Frontier is really going to, I think, decide this election. I think that the closeness of Frontier is going to be the decider here.
I think so too as well, but I think we need to look at Jackson and look at the right at large. You don't really have the largest voter registration turnout. So we go to this, and all the more right-leaning Jacksons will go out for a moderate like Cross. It's definitely a two-edged sword, getting some moderate votes, but also losing some on the right. So I think it'll be very interesting to see. And if the left at large did good at voter registration and voter turnout in the state of Jackson, might narrow it down the state of Jackson, but I could be honestly completely wrong on that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can also say here that Lincoln is pretty much safe pluribus territory. It's his home state. He's been governor there. It's not going anywhere else. I mean, we can pretty much say that.
And we got Frontier Senate results.
Wow.
Former House Majority Leader Morales has been elected to the Frontier Senate.
Morales is back as Senator of the United States of America for Frontier, and by a pretty big amount, with 55,
almost 2/3 margin. Hersey,
yeah,
not even
2/3 margin against Grubman.
No votes for the write-in at all.
I will tell you now, if Cross wins the presidency, you will hear my singing intensify by the second. I will get louder and louder, and I will make sure the world can hear my beautiful
Hersey,
voice.
are you a Cross supporter?
No, he's it's because nobody likes
under the
singing.
impression
He's trying
that
to
you
torture
were-
us.
Hersey, if you
Hersey,
don't sing, I can just
It's a friendly,
off your microphone.
thing.
Stop.
Informing you of what will happen should this happen, So keep that in mind when you cast
So,
your
Hersey,
vote.
who are you supporting in the presidential race?
Pluribus Unum and Konnor Harris, without
Well,
any shadow of a doubt.
Why is that?
I've heard that you
Pluribus-
were potentially, excuse me, Mr. Hersey, if I may, I heard that you were potentially on the short list for Lexapro Powers out of Pacifica, the presidential race.
That campaign is not for today, but for tomorrow. Now, let's move on to Pluribus. Pluribus is a 5-time speaker, 4-time elected, 1-time acting, 2-time vice president, senator, governor, 2-time governor. He's done almost everything you can do.
Arguably one of the greatest governors in current recent history.
Very arguably, his resume, like Mr. Hull's, as I spoke about earlier, just does not end. You unravel it and it never stops. The amount of things he's done just does not stop. So when it comes to who is the most qualified for the job, it's him. Hands down, end of discussion. Now, Cross is a good man, and I'd like to see him as president. I supported him last time because I'd like to see him as president one day. But I'd like to see Pluribus as president more than I would him.
It's very interesting coming from you because you have been around on the right for longer than Cross. I would consider you old guard, if I'm being honest, but you have definitely been around the South Hershey. But to see someone like you support a Democrat, someone on the left who, in my opinion, has a more progressive campaign.
I'll be completely honest with you. I abandoned party politics as a means to decide who should get what office long ago.
Oh, okay. Well, you say you abandoned. There's been reports. The RNC said that you were expelled from the Republican Party.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm talking about my decision on who to support for campaigns. I abandoned looking at party as a factor for that long ago.
Are you sure that it wasn't just in retaliation because of you being expelled by the Republican Party?
Of course, I supported Cross last time.
Yes, but now with you being expelled by the party, did that fuel your effort to support Governor Pluribus?
I've supported many different people from many different parties. I supported Lilburn.
Yes, but you're not answering, Mr. Hersey, you're not answering my question. Did you being expelled by the Republican Party increase?
It did not factor into my decision at all. No.
Then why did you support Cross in the last election and not
this one?
What changed?
Well, first off, I supported Pluribus before any expulsion was made. I would like to point that out.
And I supported Cross last time because I felt at the time he was more qualified than Holly Coward. Now she's turned out to be a bloody brilliant president, but at that time I believed he would be the better fit. We are looking at now though, and Pluribus versus Cross, I believe Cross is the better fit. So he gets my support. I have a history of supporting people from all different parties. I supported Schlork when he ran for president against Ian and the incumbent kid.
Mr. Hersey, I have a question.
I supported the socialist Lilburn when I was a Republican.
Mr. Hersey, while you're grandstanding, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did you vote for yourself in the Frontier Senate race?
I do not believe I did, no.
Breaking news, we got ourselves Frontier State Leg, and what's just wow. Okay, so we got Pence with 74.55% of the vote, with Rudd as a writing 14.5%, with Andrews 11.15%.
Oh, I mean, at least we have some form of government now in Frontier.
We can have that at last. I also need to write a writ of election
for the governor race, which rumors that
well.
Jim Butterson may be running in that race. We'll have to see what happens there.
And who will know about the other results, especially the presidential?
Let's take a look at the Lincoln presidential results now.
Oh boy, here we come. This will make or break certainly.
I very much disagree that this will make or break anything. I very much think that this is safe pluribus territory here.
I think there are two safe territories for each president, and then Frontier, I think, is the deciding factor. Obviously, you have Lincoln and Pacificus likely leaning. Well, obviously, Pacifica already safe for pluribus, but Lincoln also likely leaning that way. And then I think Olympia and Jackson are also pretty safe for Cross and Taylor. And then you have Frontier as a wild card that could go either way. Obviously, in early preliminary polling, it looked as if pluribus had a small margin.
If I may, if we look at the preliminary results, Lincoln was a lot closer than
a lot of us
than a lot of people expected, I think. Because I mean, here, if this goes Cross, and I
think the chances significantly decrease for pluribus at winning the White House.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. If he wins Lincoln, like again, I just see the early results for Lincoln, and it's just very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's extremely close, really. It's not what you'd expect at all. Actually, I thought it was a lot further apart. Actually, before I saw this.
Well, let's see how this state goes. Remember, a candidate for president cannot lose 3 states before losing the election.
Sorry, what was that, Mr. Hersey?
A candidate for president must win at least 3 states to secure an electoral victory. Anything less will ensure complete defeat.
Currently, the electoral states are tied 1-1.
If I may, I'd like to call the Lincoln presidential results, if I have that honor.
No, Hersey, I would allow that, but please don't sing. Otherwise, I'm going to have my producer.
I will not sing. We have, and we can predict that E Pluribus Unum wins the state of Lincoln with 64.75%, an overwhelming margin to Alexander Cross's 35.25%.
And I think these results are shocking.
Shocking, yeah.
Yeah, the preliminary results
will carry the state and its electoral votes. They are in his camp. He needs now 1 more state to secure the victory.
All right, thank you, Wolf Blitzer, for that.
I appreciate the compliment.
I would like to say one thing. This is definitely what I like to call a cross.
And likely Jackson presidential.
Here we go.
Next.
This could be the end, folks. This could be the end sooner than we anticipated. The Jackson presidential
will be coming up soon.
If not, I'd like to announce these ones.
Yeah, the way this is going, I very much think that this is going to be getting to Cross. I think that we're going to see a frontier decider, which will be nail biting.
And actually, Hersey, if you'd like, or someone else can announce these. I'd like to result.
How about
Announce
you
the
announce
results
can
from
announce it.
Frontier. I'd like to
my
announce the
announcer
results from
voice.
Frontier.
I'll take this one if you don't mind. I'll take it.
No,
No,
I'll
let's
take
give it to
Frontier.
Jim.
No, I'll take
Jim, you
Frontier.
will announce the Jackson
Frontier,
presidential.
Jim does Frontier. Okay.
Oh, Jim does Frontier.
We'll
Alright.
announce Jacksonians results, and the Jacksonians have voted en masse today. It will be a very close election. Remember, for those of you watching at home, if E pluribus unum wins just one more state of any, he will be declared president-elect of the United States, and Konnor
Obviously, we'll
Harris will
have
be
to-
declared vice president-elect.
If he does only win 3,
We are retracting
We are
call for
retracting the
Jackson
Jackson.
State as we are receiving conflicting information from the Federal Elections Commission. We will be back with you in a bit.
uno momento, por favor.
From the FEC, we ask that Mr. Hersey not announce anything yet. We enjoy sleeping at night.
And
We
he heard you may have
appreciate
twisted
the
those
request.
words.
We appreciate the request, but
They call
the
me
show
Hersey,
must
not
go
Mr.
on.
Hersey.
That is,
Incredible.
very
God bless
interesting
the
that Hersey-
FEC.
God bless
God.
our wonderful and hardworking FEC.
Right. That doesn't like Hersey, but yes.
They have never. Yet I win. It's amazing.
Hershey,
Nice.
for the sake of the
Not this
FCC releasing results.
Not this month.
We're
Jackson's results are taking a bit longer than predicted. Please stand by.
Are we gonna see? Are we gonna see a ton of ballots dropped off at
Yeah, I've got
voting-
the
voting precincts at 4 a.m.?
I've got the
Nice
I've got,
funny
I've
joke
got,
related
I've got
to
the
Democrats standing by with a truckload of votes.
I've got the secret Hull votes going out at the moment in my Hull vans in the lobster fields.
Wow.
Those vans are being sent out now around the state of Jackson.
It's amazing.
Places like Florida, Trump's home state, former President Trump, who let's talk about that. Who abruptly resigned.
Let's talk about why Trump resigned on December 11th.
Yes, the great.
Oh,
what was
no.
it called? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this isn't.
Well, if you want to learn more about that, there's a Wikipedia article.
There is a Wikipedia article detailing the
But
great
I guess we'll
collapse.
dive
of
into
the
that
Don't read
tonight.
it. Do not
Another
read
time?
it. It is not
Read the-
canon.
So what is a canon?
Yeah, what are you referring to? War that?
What is he- what is he
I don't know
talking
that
about?
we're talking about a war, but this is elections there, Mr. Hall. We are not talking about revolutionary
We do
war.
not need to speak on the collapse of the American government, or nearly was. We need to speak about the election here and now.
And
it
why
has
are you
turned
talking
out to be
about it?
more I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowed to talk about
I
it.
don't have a
but,
good reason for you, Mr. Hall. I don't have a good reason for you, and I'm not going to provide one.
Current speaker Corey.
Corey
Correct.
Clark. Corey Clark. He's done a
Corey
fantastic
Clark,
job as
God
speaker
bless.
overall.
I actually have to disagree with you. I mean, there's been obviously a large amount of lacking procedural knowledge for him, even putting up a vote that was never seconded. It was only
Oh, that is
it
unfortunate.
was only objected
Well,
to, and then the person that
well,
requested it.
All I'll say is at least it's nowhere near as bad as his predecessor.
Oh yes, former Speaker Hersey, one of the worst.
Don't you mean
speakers of all
don't you mean
time.
Speaker Alexander Tempest? I think he did a fine job personally.
No, right. He was not speaker. He was acting speaker. He was actually SPT at the time, acting in the role of speaker.
Acting speaker is never actually a speaker.
I have over a year of precedent to disagree with you, but we do not need to get into that now. I think honestly though, Tempest's predecessor directly did an overall fine job in that office. 2 mandates overwhelming within the span of a month. You just don't beat that.
Well, I mean, there weren't any good candidates.
Yeah.
But
You say that in
I
election
was
poll
one of them.
Brannon.
Yeah, I'm saying I agree. I mean, I wasn't somebody who was expecting to run. I was nominated by Cross. I wasn't expecting to go for it.
I think a lot of that had to do
campaign.
not with the fact that Hersey. I think it was more about the fact of how Hersey was vacated rather than the candidates who were running.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean,
overwhelming victories, 2 of them in the same month.
Well, not necessarily.
All I'm going to say is, Hersey, calm your tits.
My tits are very calm, I promise you.
I bet they're.
I don't want to know about your tits.
Yeah.
You asked.
No, I didn't ask.
No, he did not ask.
We are not talking
He
about
inquired.
in this election.
I did not.
Yeah, let's
inquire,
get back
so-
on topic.
We're on topic. We're talking about tits.
Exactly. Hersey, does Hall's Secret Service need to go over there and make you shut up?
Secret sauce.
I think, you know.
Hersey, do you enjoy Hall's secret sauce?
Oh my God.
What?
That's,
Sir, what? Sir? Excuse you.
No, we were at the-
Absolutely excuse you.
We were at the cookout last week.
I can't believe I let you run Christians for any amount of time. I feel shocked and ashamed.
You did not let me. I bought it from you.
And you immediately sank it. Well done. I don't know how you did that.
Well, I didn't sink it. You were the one that
You
drove
sank
it.
it.
You
You
drove it
sank
so
it.
far into the ground that there's no chance. of
We're
it
literally
ever
still
coming
alive
back.
and on air now. How am I sinking anything or bringing it to the ground? We're still here, kicking, always kicking.
You've been the least active
Kicking-
news group for the last 3 months in a row. Your
Don't
viewership
care.
is
Don't care.
down. You don't
Cope
have any reporters who are. You're
Don't
the
care.
only
Cope
one
and
who
seed.
ever
Cope and
reports.
seed.
All you
Long
say
live
is
the
Cope and seed, but you
broadcasting
have no
network.
proof of Chris News ever doing anything good in the last 3 months. So how can you sit
We
there and
do.
tell me to cope while you give me no evidence?
I can easily tell you, Cope,
Uh-oh.
seed, cry, mauled, etc.
None of
This
that
is
means
not
anything.
about the election. Last I checked, this is just a bunch of
It's a
immature
pissing
adults.
contest, and I
hey,
have
guys.
the bigger stream.
Hey,
No,
guys,
it's a dick
guys,
measuring contest, and I have the bigger.
Hey, guys, all I'm going to say is you're talking to the person here who ran three election streams, one of them lasting 8 hours. So calm
Beautifully
down.
done.
VC span is king.
Beautiful.
This
That
is
is
true.
fair.
This
That's a
one
fair
king.
point.
And
That is fair. That is so fair, actually.
Yeah, nothing I can even
Okay.
say about that.
Going for a walk in the past, check out the Pluribus Broadcasting Network and their variety of now archived podcasts. The PBN podcast is a great way to understand our history and the goings on of the United States at the time. Truly a monumental achievement for radio broadcasting. Many episodes hosted by, currently on air, Mr. Joseph Hull. Very
Hi.
impressive and honestly an amazing testament to the dedication of our public servants in the past year.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, something that surprised me about the election: the lack of write-ins for, I believe, former President Smith.
Yeah, that was
I think that-
interesting.
Yeah, I think that's something that I'm a little bit surprised, but to be fair, Smith's campaign was kind of dying, if I do say so myself. There was a lot of enthusiasm towards the end, but see, not a lot of writings. I think we can look at how the right kind of voted. See, I kind of predicted that the right was going to divide the crossfire a little bit, but not a lot of write-ins, so I think they went like, okay, should I go with Old Guard or the guy who's moderate, even though he's not perfect? I'll take him. And I think with the whole right-wing voters, I think they just moved across, and you can see with this, certainly in Lincoln, I kind of expect a bit more. I'm a little disappointed with
Well, we're getting word that
Okay, we have
Jackson-
the results from the Jackson presidential race. Please stand by. Please stand by.
we don't have
Please
results
stand by
just
for
yet.
Jackson.
Just before these results come out, I do want to very quickly say the current electoral vote counts for the two candidates is Cross on 160 and Pluribus on 239. Though it
The
is
total number is
335 to win due to our inflated house. It is 335 to win. So,
Okay,
so
incoming.
Pluribus is much closer.
Okay, results are imminent. I repeat, results are imminent. Prepare for touchdown.
I don't think the results are coming in.
I
from
think that
anywhere
every
in the
time
air.
you say that, the FEC is going to delay it by another 5
Yeah,
minutes.
let me take over,
Rigged.
and then we'll have a
So
course
rigged,
about
so
Senators.
rigged.
They're not rigged. You're just being a jackass.
But I think
the
the
point, it's the same thing.
Jackson, I think it's going to be a cross victory. I think about a 7 to 10 point margin, if I'm being
Do you
honest.
think by that much?
You think?
I
by
mean,
that
after
much?
seeing the results from from Lincoln,
Mm.
it would seem that the results might be a little bit
I got
closer
it.
than that. Maybe a
No.
1 or I
Oh.
could see a 3 to 5% margin from there
Yeah.
with the cross victory. I'll
I
keep
mean,
in
well,
mind
you-
if I've. Never mind, they will be touching down any moment now.
They'll be coming
Hersey
into a
is a
75
prophet.
Jackson rocket. A very
Just
weird
comment,
way
just saying.
to announce presidential results for the district, but
That is impressive.
Just saying.
They are literally having illegal aliens vote now. I tell you.
Well,
it's insane.
I think
Just-
he was working
just
with Elon
saying.
Musk. I spoke with Elon last week while I was in Texas.
Just saying quickly here that Jackson has the second most electoral votes out of all of the states, only to Olympia. So if Cross does win this, it would increase his electoral vote count to 301, which is only 34 away from the presidency.
We have Alexander Cross.
we have
declared the
Cross
winner
winning
of
by
4% margin, really close.
fuck.
yeah.
Um,
4%.
Cross wins the state of Jackson with 49.62% to the pluribus
See,
unum.
I mean, what I question
45.
here is how this is possible with ranked choice voting. You can't have a result less than 50%.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Unless the write-ins are included here. I mean, it wouldn't change who's won, of course, but unless the write-ins are included here, this is curious. But
It looks like the
we do
FEC
see
is having some technical difficulties this time.
FEC is having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Emergency
that's
cross
true.
votes,
It
they
is
need
not up
emergency
to
cross votes.
50%.
But what we do see here is now we are on Cross with 301 electoral votes and Burbus with 239. It is down. It is.
Shut the fuck up, Paul. Message from the FEC. Well,
Shut
I
the
would
fuck
like
up,
to
Paul.
say
Shit
to
me
the
when I swear, but it's okay when you do it. God,
It is because Brad's more based than you.
excuse you, sir.
I
I
am
think-
gotta be honest with the FEC. Why isn't up to 50%? That is how ranked choice voting works. I believe the FEC.
And
should
the
be
results have been
able to
pulled.
look at-
The count has been stopped.
It has been pulled.
It
count has been
stopped. I have that much power to
They have
stop.
started to count from the state.
God,
In the words of former President Trump, stop the count. That has
Stop
happened.
the
Count
count.
every
I
count.
have stopped.
Stop the
When
count.
did Trump say stop the count? I don't remember that.
I'm sure he did at some point.
I have stopped
Alternate
the
universe,
count
maybe, I
in
don't know.
Jackson as it didn't add up to 50%. Oh boy,
Maybe Hillary
I
Clinton said stop
gosh,
the count once
what
while she
did
was
I do?
deleting some
Jackson
emails.
is
It's just-
a real pain in the ass right now.
It really is.
The
Blame the
Jacksonians are coming out.
Well, with this news, there could be issues with the results of the ballot, so
Well, right
percentages
now,
will
we
likely be different. But I think we can expect
Jackson
the same
results
results.
come out. That is the key.
But we do
The
see
Oh.
big
here,
question.
gentlemen, we do see here that the South is going towards its usual territory of going towards the Republican Party.
I don't know
So-
what that says about the Republicans, but
It's going to be an interesting one. I very much think this election.
I think right now, if the results are going to come out, I think it's going to come out much closer than we thought at this point. I think right now it's going to be a much closer race in Jackson as Jackson results have came back. So,
All I'm dreading here at the moment, Brad, is Smith winning Frontier and throwing this whole thing, up. We don't know. I mean, we haven't seen too much of him so far, but maybe the Swamp Man will come in and ruin our election for us.
yeah, I think the whole balance will be in effect right now.
man.
I think it'll be okay to take a short. No, never mind. Well, it seems the FEC is beaming thoughts into our heads right now at this very moment.
They are. They know
think
what we're
with the-
thinking.
I think it'll be an easy fix for the FEC. I think it's just a little mistake, but To be fair, I think they'll get it out just fine. It's a little bit of a delay right now, but
Personally, I think this spells the complete doomsday for the United States. There's never been anything like this, and it is
Okay,
now the
we're back.
Jackson presidential
We're
race.
back at it again.
The
We're
Jackson
back at it
presidential
again with the Jackson
results
presidential race.
Okay, here we
and
go. Jackson.
pending any second now.
The last results that didn't really count.
I'm getting thoughts
so-
beamed into my head. They're loading.
Man. Whack.
All right, I'm sending them to you, Hersey. You get my thoughts, Hersey?
Yeah, I saw.
All right.
Don't
I
sound
don't
anything.
think,
That's very
obviously,
disgusting.
I don't,
won't.
I don't
I'll
think
just- I'll
Corbus
let
is going to
them-
win Jackson, but it'll be a close margin. And that's all we kind of have to say about this.
Well,
Fuck.
with Cross
it's Cross again.
57.62%
Cross wins
of
the
the
state.
vote,
By an
and
even
Corbus
larger
at
margin.
45.38. By a close 9% margin. 9% margin right there for Jackson. So
It's
winners,
close, gentlemen.
especially
Down
in
to
the second
Frontier.
choice, came out strong. They came out strong.
And now everything comes down to the least. Well, now seemingly the most important state in all of the union.
The most
Frontier.
important state, the one that can't even exist properly.
The one that has finally an assembly of 3 people soon.
Who would have
Yeah.
thought the state that is worth nothing decides the state of the union?
I will excuse myself for a moment.
And the
Lewinsky is
FEC has
asking for
properly
me to get
decided
her
to go make
something.
some food.
Yeah,
Monica Lewinsky is also asking me to go make her some food, so I'll be right back.
I don't know
My
why the
girlfriend.
FCC tells us that they are hungry and tired.
William
I think, like,
Conway's
the whole
sister Monica
cycle, a bit
Lewinsky is asking me
over-
to go make her some food, so
We
I
will
be
happily,
back.
yeah. We
We're
will
we'll
definitely
happily.
not
go
leaving to the
before.
presidential results are out. So it's yeah, we're still
You're breaking up,
vibing.
Brett.
We are still going to be doing the election stream. Of course, ain't going to end until the presidential results are out. So, hope you have a
Yes.
good time. Let me know in the YouTube chat. Obviously, we have it on cable. We also have it on YouTube stream. Let us know that's on stream as well. And I think the American people are, I think they like it. I think they like the stream, if I'm being honest.
I hope so.
Yeah, sure, hope so.
Well, I guess we are going to an intermission. Going back in like 5 minutes or something. Don't know.
Sound-
I think the FEC is calling in for some dominoes. So, it may take a while.
Yeah. For the other
Although
results to come.
I'm getting
right
word from the FEC beaming shit into my head that Frontier
Okay, here we
Business-
go. Here we go.
Hersey, I believe
Joe
that
Wash-
Hersey. I believe that I will be announcing the final results,
Or
Yeah.
Okay, I
and
wanna
that
make
I
it
will
clear,
be
though.
I will be the only
Presidential.
one to do so, and no one will talk over me as I do it. Or so help me God. I will.
God cannot help us now.
Anyways. And
Well,
that's it.
never
Howard has
mind.
won the
And
presidential
Howard won
race.
the election.
Toward has
God
won.
fucking damn it, Hersey! I told you not to talk over me, yet you
Howard
still
has
fucking
won.
did. Wow, Hersey, you cannot follow simple directions from me or
no,
the
I cannot.
producer of this stream.
I am the producer.
You are not the producer. You are
I'm-
not
You
the
are not
father.
The
I am the
record.
producer. Presidential.
Okay. Now, like I said, I will be announcing the Frontier
The floor is
presidential
yours.
results. Thank you, Mr. Hersey. I hope that when I announce these, you will at
Congratulations,
least.
Howard.
I'm very
President
happy.
I
you can
ask that when
announce
the
this one.
results are posted and beamed into my head, that no one else say anything about them until I finish talking and grandstanding.
Yes, we will let you grandstand all you want, my friend. Go
Thank
right
you, and I
ahead. This
ask
moment
that-
is yours.
Not Holland, not Brad, not Hall, not Hersey talk over me while I am announcing
Of course.
the results.
I don't talk over you.
Of course. We would
You
never
will
talk
not.
over you.
What are you
We
gonna
would
do?
never.
Ban me from
We would
Earth?
never talk over you. Honestly, I let you talk when you need to. We would never talk over you. Don't worry.
So, what are we gonna do? Wait.
It would seem
What?
that people have been pinned.
We are
Um,
gonna wait for the world to end, because that's what might happen in a few moments. Later. Terrifying.
What do you mean you're gonna wait? No one was talking. We didn't say anything. Hershey, I think you're a little bit delusional right now.
When aren't I?
Frontier.
Good point.
But Jim,
Presidential.
give me your thoughts
Hersey,
on the
while we're
Frontier
waiting for these,
presidential.
excuse me, while we're waiting for these Frontier results, Hersey, what do you see the next step in your life after losing this race in the Senate?
Oh, I'm running for the Senate again.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are.
there's a special election. Yeah, there's a
Well,
special election.
I've
We're
heard
going there
that
again.
former Governor Laura J. Kelly might also be running in the Senate race.
Yeah, I'll love her. She's great. I'm
She'll
running.
probably beat you, but
We don't know that.
anyways, well,
So
probably.
I want to call one race because nobody cares about it. But Lincoln state legislature. Let's just say that Clark and Joey will be the two legislators of Lincoln. That's my job. So I guess Lincoln will be the new frontier.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think
Hopefully the results will be coming out soon. Very soon.
If the FEC can get their shit together.
if they get the dominoes on time, I'm sure that they will.
I
give us
think
the
they will eventually get this up together. Don't you worry about that. But
Oh,
right
dang.
now we are still in waiting. This is a very important, another close race. But
Mm.
I'd like to ask a little hypothetical. What happens if Cross loses two very close races next to back? What would Cross do at that point?
I could not imagine that. But some
If
other
he does
important
lose, that
news,
would be devastating.
my alma mater is starting 0-2 in football this year, and that is just pissing me off.
If
This
he
is about
loses-
Cross, not about
Look,
football.
Let's say if he loses again, the Republican Party is gonna have to have some
Reevaluate the candidates that they put
hard
forward.
discussion about what the hell is going on and what's going wrong. You know.
Maybe the candidates that
Oh,
they're
yeah,
putting forward are not best for that position if Cross loses.
We have Representative Turnbull win election
Winner.
Frontier. Now this is notable because Turnbull just came into existence a few days ago, and already she has won an election. It's very impressive.
Yeah, that is true. That is very impressive. But right now, we're still all waiting on Frontier election.
It's the long game, the long wait. It's how it's supposed to be.
I don't like waiting. Give me the
Well, I
results
think
now.
right now we could definitely talk about, like, since I believe the presidential race will take a little bit, we can definitely talk about the other races besides for state legislature. But I don't know what your thoughts on that. I think with state legislature, for example, with this Frontier, sure, they have a government, but I think we need to look at them more critically. It's a little sad to see that there's not a lot of people running for state legislative at all. And not to mention not a lot of people on the left or even in the center trying to run at all. And I think that's a very sad state for a frontier democracy, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we see the same story in most states. I mean, in my state, for example, in Olympia, we see that the right are very reluctant to run candidates.
In the Pirate Party, from running quite a bit of candidates to not a lot at all, if I'm being honest. So I think it's a little bit I think the Pirate Party is, I won't want to say dead, definitely not, because don't forget we have Morales. Though no official party, but I think it's very interesting to see him to what's that called? Why can't I speak? To be a senator elect. So other than that, the Pirate Party not really that powerful or strong anymore. And not to mention Morales was a Dem, so he would definitely at least caucus independently, but his voting would definitely be more left leaning rather than right.
I mean, he's a former Democrat senator. I was Democratic Party chair when he first got his seat.
Yeah, those were that was quite a long time ago, for being honest. So I think right now we just have a little bit of a standstill, really. We're still waiting on the frontier presidential race. Who knows if that's ever going to come out at this point? It's a very, very, very possibly.
Is somebody playing Minecraft?
We definitely need more people running in the state legislative, if I'm being honest. There's just not too much people running at all. But I think it's a little bit sad to see. A little bit sad to see. But I think the frontier presidential race will be coming out very soon right now. I think the FC are soon to be releasing results.
Okay, here we go.
And like I said, I will.
The beginning ends.
Results. The beginning of the next term. Just kidding. It's not happening. The FEC stopped beaming the thoughts in my head. It's quite annoying. God forbid I click off the FEC's page and they get announced as I click away.
Shit.
I should hope this also good soon.
These.
It's got to be absolutely presidential, like every corner race.
I hope Pluribus wins.
Okay.
There is some wonderful impartial reporting for you.
It's from.
I know, right?
Okay, that's not good.
Exactly. Impartial, unbiased reporting.
I was asked, do you support Pluribus? And
Right. This is what you get. Right, when you go to these B tier networks, this is why you need to stick with.
This is why
Excuse
VC
you.
Span needs to host. And
Sir,
also, may I ask,
American
Mr.
Union
Hall?
is a great host. I think Coach News could do a lot better because American Union is.
The American Union has always done a professional job, and I have the utmost respect for them. Although, Church News is worse than a crappy newspaper you
why
find
do
for
people
free
think
on a New York subway.
Think we're worse? We're literally one of the longest surviving networks.
The
Because
longest
we're
surviving
cool.
doesn't mean good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
You don't
trying.
survive this long by being bad.
You know what happens with an old piece of bread? It's moldy and gross.
Exactly.
That's what.
What happens
Christianity
when no
is.
one throws it out and everyone still loves it?
No one loves
No
it.
one loves.
No one loves Christian
do you
News.
enjoy
Well, when you give
eating moldy bread?
when you give that moldy bread its own broadcasting network, people change their minds rather fast.
I don't. Well, I guess.
I think you're going insane.
Yeah. Some news agencies should put out news polling and see which are the most popular.
Maybe we
Anyway,
need
shut up. We got
to.
results.
I'm sure if there was a poll for which news. Oh,
Well, guys, time to scream. Cross. Yeah, cross.
What, Ross?
Hold on, people.
Hold on.
And this means
That
that the
means-
vice presidency is going to be decided by the Senate.
The vice presidency will be in the hands of the Senate, which the Senate is definitely the most part. It agrees that it will be the vice presidential candidate, but who knows? It is still very much powerful if the Senate wants to change the law. Especially for the Progressive Caucus. Right now,
We will be returning Olympia
Ross is
immediately.
now president.
Well, guys, this is what it means. The following. Hold on, this is of course official. It seems that I'm going to be continuing this.
No, I
So
think
with 430 with
Olympia, we could see a recount in place right now. So, for right now,
But right now, we predict Alexander J.
Ross
Cross.
is- Right now, we might have seen a.
I will report to you now. We will absolutely recount Olympia.
Are you a part of the Pluribus campaign, Hersey?
No.
No? Then that's not really your call, is it?
there should be a recount in Olympia. I think that's a close race. If I do say so to myself, would there be any changes? That would be very hard to say. I personally do not believe so. I think Cross did very well. He won a pretty good campaign. Both sides won a pretty good campaign, if I'm being completely honest. So, for right now, Cross is President of the United States, and I think second time is a charm, if I'm honest. So, and of course, we have a Republican. When's the last time a Republican was President of the United States?
James. Last time was James.
James.
No, the last Republican president was Ian Halper before he defected to the Libertarian Party midterm.
No, James did run for after Ian. After Ian.
Extremely, and that was quite a few presidents ago. 3 Libertarian presidents in a row. Socialist, Democrat, and now Republican. I think this has come full circle, at least with the Republican Party having the presidency. Though they do not hold the Senate, they hold the presidency, and that's obviously quite a bit of power. Though a moderate,
it's crazy.
Still a Republican.
It's crazy. You know, I'm gonna be speaking here as the chair of the Republican committee. You know, it's wonderful news if there's no recount. It's wonderful news if we finally are able to put up a Republican president again. It says a lot, you know. We have been having a lot of trouble internally and externally. But if we did this, then that means that the American people do believe in the ideas of Cross, you know, a moderate tone, a platform that is broadly appealing to people from all the aisles. You know, it's very, you know, I'm happy if we win the presidency, then as the chairman of the Republican National Committee, I can go to bed and sleep happily. Because that means that we did our job.
Well, you know, despite the fact that I'm also vice chairman of the RNC, I had opposing views with the party. It's unfortunate to see the candidate that I supported lose. But obviously the country has spoken, and they've chosen Cross to be the next president of the United States.
Yeah, you know, it's okay in the Republican Party. Opposing voices are welcome. But you know, as the chairman, I can be happy. You know, if this is what has resulted the people to vote for, you know, I can be happy as chairman. It means that the party has done its job, and that's important, you know. And I do think, you know, both candidates are very, very experienced, very, very capable of doing the job. Either way, America is going to see a bright future. You know,
I do want to say here as well, though, that
results are not done.
Results are not done.
We're still awaiting Lincoln state legislature results.
Yeah, but state legislature of Lincoln is just Joey and Corey. We are the new frontier, unless some people were written in. Yeah.
I don't really expect a lot of written in for Frontier at all.
I mean, you mean Lincoln. Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln. That is a good question, though. I don't really expect much.
Yeah. You know, this has been a crazy night. It's a very close race. That's the whole thing, you know. It's a very close race. It was from the beginning. I mean, you're pitting 2 moderate candidates against each other. There isn't a lot of room if you are a moderate running against a moderate. It boils down
and breaking news from international Governor Pluribus has requested an official recount in Olympia.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh
a
boy, the
recount.
elections are not done. We have a recount in place, folks.
Damn it, Pluribus.
A recount.
A recount.
Wait. So what would happen if it switches? What happens if Pluribus wins the
So
recount?
if Pluribus wins Olympia here, he will win the election, and there will not be a second election in the Senate. Harris will be duly elected as vice president along him, I believe. No, ignore me. No, ignore me.
No,
there will still be a vice presidential.
Recount, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this recount, what now happens is the FEC goes back and has a look back over the results, making sure that everything is right, the votes have been validated properly, that the people registered to vote, those kind of things. And if everything checks out, which, I mean, we saw this in the last election, it only took, I think, less than 20 minutes for the recount to be done. We could have results very, very quickly on this. If it does change the result, so if it does go to Pluribus, I believe that Cross can request another recount. So
please request another recount. I think that'll be very, very good for the FEC to do. Just to have make sure everything is correct when it comes to democracy.
If it does,
we're receiving an important announcement from the FEC.
From the FEC.
We have an
themselves.
incoming announcement.
That's what we just said there, Hersey, but thank you for chipping that in.
Prescott is selected for Lincoln Attorney General. Of course, an important election.
The FEC are have got very, very good at their job, I think.
I think they did better than last time, if I'm being honest. So good work from the FEC overall.
Oh, excellent.
Important announcement.
I wonder what the announcement will be.
Maybe they're sacking me.
Probably.
Likely. God, this fucking sucks. Fuck.
Well, I think it's going to be this announcement. Oh, Pluribus Clean has requested a recount.
Within a few hours.
Okay, we'll be here a
Amazing.
few more hours, everybody.
Fucking amazing. I've never wanted to spend.
A few hours
I've never
ready
wanted
for a recount, dude. Let's go.
Never wanted to do anything.
Come on, people. Come on.
I need sleep. I've got work in the morning.
Well, we've been going at it for almost 2 hours here. Almost.
2 hour stream. I mean, can't beat that 8 hour stream. You want to do 8 hours? Let's just
We
do
should
8
go
hours.
8 hours.
Yo,
We
let's
could
do
go
let's
hours.
do 8 hours.
He's
Old
doing
times.
8 hours. I assume. Well, I think what you've got to remember is it wasn't just an 8 hour stream. We went and slept for a couple of hours and then came back and finished off the stream in the morning. So really, it was 10 plus, with a small gap in the middle. Well, with a sleep gap in the middle.
Well, like, did you just do this as we talked right now?
What? No, it was different back then. So we started the stream about 2 hours after the vote opened, and we were given results as the votes were being submitted, and then the final vote was all released at the end of the election, at the end of the voting.
How do you
So
talk
it's
for
different.
that long though? That's very tiring.
So
if
it's not about, like, here we've just had a conversation between pretty much the same group of people. What happened during these streams is we'd only have
Oh,
two
and
votes.
here are the popular vote results.
That'll be coming soon, but I want Holt to finish this
Yeah.
point because I'm
So
very.
we'd only have 2 hosts. It would usually be me and Lucas William Worth, and we would have a lot of guests coming on. So we'd bring on, say, 2 senatorial candidates running for the same race, and talk with those two who are running against each other about it. We'd have kind of like a debate on where they think the election is going to go. It was very, very, very speculation heavy, and very, very, very based on giving information to people, because remember, voting was still ongoing whilst we were doing this stuff. So these conversations could swing people's votes. So it was a very different kind of air. It wasn't kind of this is done. It wasn't sitting here and thinking, okay, it's over. There's nothing we can do. It was more some people would come on the stream with the express intent to try and rally up some more support for them. And definitely when we get the presidential candidates on, it was very interesting to have them talk about their campaigns and that kind of stuff. The post-election show was probably the most important thing, because it was very interesting then to listen to the people who'd lost, I think, and see how they felt, as well as the people who'd won.
I think that'll be very important ideas to take. I think we'll take those ideas for the next election stream next month.
Yes.
So we are all very, very busy people, if we're being honest.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
I mean, right now we're still waiting on the presidential vote, folks. I'd like to know your thoughts on the election stream, both on cable and, of course, YouTube. YouTube is, I think, a very important platform to use, especially for the younger folks that don't really have cable.
Yeah.
So YouTube is a very good outreach for this. So very good. And hopefully the popular vote will be out soon for everybody to know. So for right now, we're kind of just staying put. We also have a few results for the state legislative race to look at. And especially, for example, well, not for example, never mind, that's a bad example. But right now, it's interesting. We could definitely talk about the Pluribus campaign. For right now, they are in the loose, and they run a very good campaign as well. Now, Pluribus was going to retire months ago and kind of work with the PBN, but he kind of continued public service, for example, being a Lincoln governor and now running for president with definitely a rising popularity star and the DNC chair himself, Harris, as the VP. So, very interesting to see and run a close campaign. Now, Pluribus blown Cross and Pacific, for example. So, very interesting to see that. But Olympia was very, very closer than expect, and results could flip to a Pluribus. But for right now, Pluribus is in a loss, and I think Cross needed this, definitely for morale for the right, because the right had plenty of disappointing elections, and, for example, failed to take control of the Senate and the presidency. But right now, it looks like they have a little bit of protection to gain the president of the United States. Now, a very modern platform. We should expect more funding in education and ways to combat climate change. Now, obviously, that's been continuing, especially for climate change, but definitely not a radical, especially socially. So, but I think one of the things I kind of look at and talked about in the Morning Wood show, we definitely have some radicals in the House, and sometimes they write quite a bit of bills that are a little bit more progressive than others. Not really a lot of right-wing bills, but we have some radical bills from Noah. Noah definitely writes some very interesting bills, especially for one of very limiting abortions. So, especially more for progressives, I think it's a very interesting point. If you want to pass very progressive legislation, it's probably going to get vetoed, or you're going to pass very much right-wing legislation, it's going to get vetoed. So, and I think we definitely see a tendency of that in the House in recent months of passing some definitely partisan legislated, to say the least. And I think it'll be very important for the Cross to have moderates, their moderate policy to honestly be promoted in the House, pushed in the House, and their agenda to be pushed in the House. I think that'll be very important for the Cross administration to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what are your thoughts on this whole.
Well, I mean, I've I've been a political ally of Cross for a very, very long time. Just as I've been a political ally of Pluribus for a very long time, it's been a very difficult election season for me in this regard. I'm very much agreeing with Howard that I couldn't wade in here. of course I voted, and I'm going to keep my vote private. But it was a very, very difficult decision. But I think that what we'll see here is, from the cabinet point of view, I think we're going to see quite a varied cabinet. Now, I'm, as a former president myself, I had some cabinet issues, right? I would warn here both candidates, whether it goes pluribus in the recount, whether it stays with Cross, I would warn against having too varied of a cabinet. Under me, under my cabinet, I had the Republicans all threaten to leave the cabinet, thus killing any electoral chance I had. If they said don't run or we'll all leave. So there are. I would be very, very careful there. Policy-wise, I think they're two very similar candidates, and I think that Cross is going to do. One of the things we all know about Cross is once he puts his mind to something, he does it bloody well. We saw this as when he was governor with the Olympia Constitution, getting the state up and running. So I think that if he's in the job, he's going to do an excellent job at it. I'm curious about his relationship with the Senate. As we've seen, Republican and right presidents haven't had a great relationship with the Senate over for the last few times they've been in office.
Not at all.
So I am curious there. Unfortunately, Cross's amendment doesn't apply this month, so we're not going to see him getting a good deal of time to get his cabinet nominees in. So he's going to have to work extremely quickly to get those in. And I imagine that once he's made president-elect, if he's made president-elect, he will be spamming out messages to people saying, "Will you be in my cabinet?"
I think I like to quickly add with that it could be very alarming, especially if there's not really qualified candidates running for cabinet. I think the Senate, they're turning to be more hard on cabinet picks, and obviously the House as well. So if there's going to be a bad pick, the Senate will not tolerate, especially a very closely divided Senate.
Yeah, I think that one of the things we've seen is the right does have quite a bit of power in the House. So I think that the Senate picks that require the House are going to be quite easy for the Republicans to get through, as long as they are good quality picks. As for the Senate, it's a completely different story. We've got a Supreme Court seat up. Where who that goes to or where it goes is nobody knows at this point. Okay. We've seen Howard back away from that question quite a bit during their term. We see that.
Yeah, we see. I didn't want to interrupt you, but the popular president popular voters, pluribus, having whopping 54.45% of the vote, while Cross is only rocking 45.55.
The Electoral College is an outdated system that does not belong in our American society today.
And I completely agree with that.
And if I may interject, I'm sorry, y'all. The Electoral College is, people may not agree to it, but it's very hard that even in real life we have an Electoral College that seems to be undemocratic. And I stand with abolishing it, but some people don't believe in that. And people like the popular vote way, but that's just not going to happen in reality. And that's what I think.
Well, thank you, Ladarian, for butting in. But thank you, Representative Ladarian, with your thoughts.
Oh, breaking news tonight: Senator Francis has submitted a Senate joint resolution to abolish the Electoral College.
Now, something I will say here is, if pluribus fails in his attempts to get the Olympia election turned over to his side, will the fact that Cross didn't get popular votes undermine his mandate at all? What do you guys think about that?
What do you mean?
My opinion is it shouldn't matter. It's still elected by the rules of this country. It has happened before that the electoral vote wins from the popular vote, and maybe one president didn't do his duty, but the others did.
So
do a
just
good
as
job.
President Bush and Trump before, he wins the Electoral College, but not the popular vote.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see personally with the Electoral College and see how this is a close race, even though Pluribus is close to 9% more popular compared to Cross. I just kind of feel that as a bit of a disservice, but I don't want to put much of my personal opinions on this when it comes to politics, much rather just the election at large.
Yeah, I mean, it
I'm
is what it
just
is.
looking at a tweet from the Pluribus campaign here. He's strongly encouraging Cross to begin his transition team here whilst the recount in Olympia goes on. Because Pluribus has also already stated that his transition team is running. So Pluribus is very much expecting to win the recount in Olympia here.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting scenario, but I think the American people look at this in weird eyes. As Pluribus, even though he might not win, he is already ready to go. But Cross and is a little bit disorganized, and I think American people are worried, especially.
I mean, Pluribus,
I'd very much disagree with you there, Brad.
I gotta say one thing. Pluribus does this every presidential election to tell people to get their transition.
Right. I will say though here, and I disagree with you here, Brad, that I don't think that either side here should be getting their transition team up and running until the results from Olympia.
Breaking news from the FEC. FEC chairman Randy Wilson needs to speak with Hall.
Right now, urgently.
Urgently.
But I think Hall, I'd like to thank you for your input. You were one hell of a guest. All right.
Please leak everything.
But right now, yeah, I think it's just only me and Jim once again. So
actually, I'll be right back, Monica Lewinsky.
Can I join y'all?
Please, Ladarian. Otherwise, I have to do it by myself. But I wouldn't mind.
I mean, there's sometimes me, sometimes Holland.
All right, Holland. Look, I am a talker, right? I can talk for ages about my thoughts. Heck, there's the Morning Wood podcast I do. I am very much used to talking about this. But I think a very important thing is I think I like to add to obviously what the tweet said about the transition team. I am very concerned if Cross wins the presidential election. What's his cabinet picks? I do agree with Hull. I didn't say this before. Well, I didn't say it simply, but I think it's going to be a very cabinet. But it'd be very interesting if Pluribus comes out, what his cabinet's going to look like. I think both would be very varied. But if I'm being honest, I feel like Cross has to have a more varied candidate in order to it to pass, especially in a close tight Senate, still in progressive control.
What do you mean? So, the Senate doesn't.
Well,
the Senate doesn't decide.
I mean, the House
goes in his, and the House is, it's a Republican powerhouse if it needs to be. So
I think we gotta look. Well, we gotta look at it. The whipping team didn't do the best in certain areas. So especially right now in the House, I feel like the Republicans don't have the best whipping team. So
yeah, but
I meant the House. I said Senate, but I meant the House.
I gotta say, when the cabinet nominees are released, we just gonna have to individually, assess them, not just because they have a Republican or Democrat allegiance. We should look at their skill set first, And so far as I know, no president has been releasing their cabinet nominees the day that they get their news that they are elected. So I don't think any of the candidates should hurry in a transitional team. Let's just first make sure that the right person is elected before we begin transitional processes. It's too soon at this moment, and I don't think it's the biggest issue, if I may be honest.
I see, but I think it'll be very interesting to see. I think we definitely need qualified secretaries as well, especially for people from the previous administration. Obviously, not going there, like for example, Konnor Harris as Secretary of Education. So we're definitely going to see quite a lot of people.
I mean, new blood is always good. That's just healthy.
Yeah, but I think it's very interesting to see. But I think there's right now quite a bit of a debate, especially on Twitter right now for the Electoral College. I think the American people aren't happy seeing the popular vote being released, I think it's perfect timing for Jack Francis to try to abolish the Electoral College. Well, what do you think, Holland?
Oh, the Electoral College?
Yeah, the Electoral College.
I think it has its merits, and I think people are reacting with a lot of emotion right now. And, I always say your emotions are always valid, but the way you react isn't always valid. And I think it's a little bit unfair to immediately want to abolish the Electoral College because a Republican is elected possibly to the presidency. We have had it before that the popular vote doesn't make a winner.
I would like to butt in. It's not 90%, because it's not. Whoa. It's not because he's a Republican. It's because he didn't win the popular vote.
Yeah, but
I think there's always an outcry. I think there's always an outcry.
Yeah, but these things that the popular vote doesn't win are so rare that it's not even
so rare. It still happens.
Yeah, but it happens sometimes, And I always
sometimes, not rare. Sometimes.
Yeah,
happens. How many times throughout history? At least 4 times in American history.
4 times, and the rest of the times popular vote won. And right now we are trying to, I don't know, abolish it because, to me, as the chairman of the Republican Party, it just seemed like a little bit strange to immediately want to abolish something.
But maybe it's a little strange because the Electoral College in recent decades has benefited the Democratic Party.
You're a little bit
it's now
quiet.
Benefiting the Republican Party.
Get closer to your computer. Get closer to your microphone in the studio.
What do you think? Like, it does benefit.
I don't hear you. Get closer to the microphone in your studio.
I am so sorry, but what do you think about how the Electoral College benefits you? Even if Pluribus won, I still want the Electoral College to be abolished. Even if you want overwhelmingly, with Jack Francis putting that piece of legislation in the Senate, I'll still vote A to abolish the Electoral College. My opinions don't change at Electoral College. I think still undemocratic process of elections. I think it's a scam. It came out through the South's need for power to preserve slavery. I am overall not the biggest fan of it. Heck, came out as a compromise, by the way. Not a really temporary solution, but yet we still have it. For some
it's your opinion. That's okay.
That's historical fact for at least the South trying to preserve its power.
Well, let's not talk about the South then.
I'm sorry, what are we discussing? I'm sorry, Monica Lewinsky called me over.
We are discussing the Electoral College and its racist and
Electoral
really,
College is
democratic
racist.
roots.
It's similar to the 3/5 compromise.
Yes.
The 3/5 compromise. We didn't even mention that at all. I think that's not really the best look modern day for the Electoral College to still be around.
Exactly. You know what the 3/5 compromise is called? The 3/5 compromise. You know what we have to compromise to elect the president? They only have to win 3/5 of the state, and we have to compromise on that. Therefore, the Electoral College is racist.
Yeah. Well, things are racist when you look at it.
I think we have a ding dong right now from the FEC. I
Nope,
wonder
not
what.
from the FEC.
Oh, not from the FEC. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to get my reading glasses on. But there was an announcement being made by. Oh, he does move fast. First, he came out of the office. An announcement. I think our electoral officials really move fast. Kind of a warning rate, but probably in a taxi right now, typing this on his laptop. I don't know why I said taxi. Could be Uber. Could be his car. Could have a limousine. Who really knows?
His Secret Service is driving him, obviously.
Oh yeah, the service. Because he was I believe he was a vice president, correct? A former
president.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
President Hall.
President. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. So he always had the Secret Service around him. How did I not notice when he showed up? I do feel a little bamboozled, a little bit dumb. Anyway, the announcement will be out soon. I still want to know the election stream on YouTube and of course cable and basically anywhere. Just like to know your thoughts on this, and we're still going to keep going until the presidential election is done, and we're almost there. It's taking longer than we thought. I'll tell you that much. The announcement's out, and it says a quote: "Electoral College votes to give pluribus an honorary degree. Congratulations, clubbers, my son X." Well, what a joke! What a funny joke! Nothing really serious.
What a joke of an election! And like InfoWars says, democracy is a scam.
That is a very interesting quote. InfoWars says that democracy is a scam, but to be fair, that's not really surprising coming from something like InfoWars, being honest.
Come on with the results. It's getting late.
It is getting late, and I wouldn't mind just finishing out at this point. We have this. Twitter is blowing up, if I'm being honest. Twitter is just blowing up right now. It's crazy. Everything's going up. Politicians aren't happy. The American people aren't happy. And I think they're not going to like the Electoral College. I think there's more of an outcry than ever before to abolish it. It's one thing it's by a few percent, but this is more than 9%. This is big. That's a big margin, and I don't think even Holland can disagree with that.
The fact that the electoral result college wasn't even used in the last election.
Yeah. Well, Jim, what are your thoughts? I want to give you more in depth about the Electoral College. Jim, are you there? Are you there to communicate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are your thoughts about the Electoral College? You said you're not the biggest fan, but I would like to.
Hold on.
I am holding on as much as I possibly.
Sorry, Monica Lewinsky is feeding me Cheez-Its. I mean, it's just disappointing.
I mean,
to see. Hold on. When someone like Cross loses the last election because it's based off of the popular vote, and now we come to this election and it's based off the Electoral College, and Cross loses the popular vote once again. We're now the Electoral College decides the president, not the popular vote, unlike the last election between Toward and Cross.
But 9% though is such a big margin. Like, more than I thought, but I think the Pacifica blowout is quite interesting, and I just find it a little bit disheartening that we still have the Electoral College intact. So. But hopefully we can abolish the Electoral College. I am in support of that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we just kind of have a lot right now. We people on Twitter are just reacting right now. I think there's just a lot of outrage right now at this point. So it'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the results right now, and
So, I have a question. If the results stand and Cross wins, once he's inaugurated, if he's inaugurated before the Senate picks a new vice president, would the Speaker of the House become vice president, acting vice president?
I don't know this question.
But I think a lot of politicians on Twitter right now, especially Sullivan, are kind of in a big argument, especially for against Infowars. So we have a bit of a Twitter wars right about now. So
I mean, it's not people can debate. Yeah.
I think we're still kind of waiting on the results right now. So,
I mean, how many hours do you need to recount, please?
Yeah, can you communicate right now because I need to break into the staff room. Hold on one moment.
So, I can confirm that Cross is also already having his transition team.
I can confirm this as well. I've seen both Governor Cross and Pluribus in the White House.
It doesn't really matter. Both candidates have put their transition teams to work.
I just heard from inside source from the FEC that it would take about 5 minutes for the recount to be concluded and the results to be out.
5 minutes.
5 more. So we have 5 more minutes to wait to the recount to be ended, and I'm kind of glad that the results are soon going to be out, and American people would know who will be the next president. Hold on, but why do you support the Electoral College?
To give smaller states a voice.
I think that is definitely understandable right now. But I think it'll be very interesting to see. Look, if I'm going to be honest, I do expect a lot of vetoes if it's from across the administration.
I'm gonna say one thing. All right, if politicians want to abolish the electoral college, let the people decide that by a referendum. You know, that way it's the people's choice, and not some politicians.
The people have spoken, and they have chosen Pluribus to be president. Yet the Electoral College has fucked them over.
What's
Yeah.
not even to mention that to abolish electoral college is overwhelmingly popular for one, and two, they elected us into office, especially for representatives every 2 years.
Still,
Very much.
sometimes you can run a referendum, you know.
I mean, I don't think it'll make much of a difference if I'm honest, but I wouldn't mind a referendum if I'm honest. But that's not how constitutional a resolution really works. It probably doesn't work like that.
The states have to ratify them, so.
This is true.
Yep, that is very true.
Is Hall still with us, or is he left? The radical minority leader, is he still here?
The radical minority leader was he sadly left. He had to deal with pressing matters. I think believing related to the FEC.
Excuse me. Good God.
Well, hopefully very soon the recount will be there, and we'll know for sure who.
Hello, how are we doing? I'm back.
Hersey's back.
Hersey, what are your thoughts on this recount?
Well, now that Hersey's back, I'm gonna throw on some tunes.
I think it's obvious how I hope it goes. I believe since Pluribus has the overwhelming mandate to serve as president, he should serve as president. And considering just how close the situation was in Olympia, I have reason to believe that this could probably go in our favor. I don't want to say anything yet, but it's not impossible to believe that the tide will turn. Why not?
And what if the recount is the same as the first result? What then?
We'll see what happens. But 1 point over the edge is all we need. It's all we need to take the entire thing.
Well, it seems like the election stream is kind of dying a little bit. Do I have to talk about random stuff? We could definitely talk about a lot of random things. For example, how InfoWars says there's a factor of 17 Taco Bells in for every resident in Evansville, as InfoWars is kind of attacking right now. And a few Democrats are making some questionable remarks as are for the Electoral College. So I think that is pretty darn interesting, if I'm being honest.
Is it interesting because it's not your opinion, or is it interesting because they are Democrats and Democrats should adhere to some kind of hive mind? Serious question.
Nah, I think Democrats are usually for abolishing the electoral college simply because they definitely want to expand democracy and make democracy more open, more fair, and less restrictive. So at least that's kind of policy trends happen, you know. Hey, what do I know? I think we have some rock music back in the staff room. I'm kind of wondering who was playing that, if I am being honest.
I was playing some Donnie Denver too.
It's a good old AC/DC.
AC/DC is overrated band. If I'm going to be honest, you can fight me on that.
I will gladly fight you over that.
Okay, explain.
Is this an overrated song?
Shoot the thrill. That's all I need to say. Shoot the
Can
thrill.
you guys hear this when I play this?
Very much slightly so. Oh, I didn't realize it's you. I saw it would be a staff member. Not.
Were you able to hear that song?
No. How about you talk about the election and how the recount is also going to be very up soon, hopefully. We're all waiting on this, and the American people are waiting on this right now.
We interrupt that sentence to bring you some Shoot to Thrill, brought to you in part by AC/DC.
Well, excuse me. I don't think this is going to get taken down by YouTube. So we can't play copyrighted music on here.
Yeah,
Exactly. Okay,
can-
with this low quality,
gonna-
I don't think we'll get.
There's that
copyright.
beautiful Jim Buttery face.
If anything, we can only play the following song.
How about we play some royalty-free music?
We can only play this.
Ukulele.
We can only play patriotic music.
God bless the
So
United
true.
States of America, folks. That's not patriotic.
Mm.
This is insanely patriotic, by the way.
This is the Washington Post. That's patriotic as fuck.
Thank you.
God bless.
God fucking bless America.
God bless America. Fuck those terrorists.
Fuck the
What?
Yeah,
country.
that's very interesting from a guy that sounds
Like a terrorist.
not like a Danish. I thought you were American there, Mr. Holland. You do sound a bit European, and last I checked, that ain't American. Are you an illegal alien?
Ik weet niet wat je zegt. Tot ziens.
It's all jokes here, folks. I'm only messing. As America is a very diverse and multicultural.
Last time I
country.
checked, my green card was valid.
I would like to point out it's been more than 5 minutes. We have received no word. Therefore, we can declare that Mr. Lexapro Powers will be the next president.
That's false. Fake news.
No, I can
It's
declare
fake
that.
news. Fake news.
It was quite.
I can
literally
declare
the
that we
fakest
are no
news of all
longer
time.
going to pay the FVC, and they can no longer eat food until.
I will be
they,
introducing a bill to cut all funding to the
To the
Census
FEC.
Bureau and the FEC.
Yes. Cut off funding to Randy, the chairman of the FVC.
Mhm.
He can no longer eat until he gives us results. And
And as a
therefore,
reminder that this stream is not RP.
No, this
Uh,
stream is our. I don't know what you mean by RP, but we're definitely elected officials and very formal.
Oh.
yo guys, time for some
Remember,
patriotism.
the FEC does not exist IRP.
What is IRP stuff?
Yeah,
What
is
is IRP? Is that internal
No,
rectal pleasure?
That is quite annoying.
Is that internal rectal pleasure? Do you mean that?
No,
I'm sorry, what?
Acting for an RP.
What I thought he was talking about.
This is a mix of meta and RP.
He said IRP. IRP,
What's the
internal
matter?
rectal
Yeah, what does
pleasure.
IRP mean?
Internal
IRP,
rectal pleasure. Internal rectal pleasure. Do you
I experience IRP when I'm with Monica Lewinsky.
experience IRP on a daily basis?
With Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, so she pecks you.
Uh huh. I was getting at.
Hey, that's
She also did
IRP.
the Bill Clinton. Breaking news: Bill Clinton was pegged.
Oh my god.
Did you say Bill Clinton was pegged?
By Monica Lewinsky, that is
Yeah.
correct, in the Oval Office.
That is internal rectal pleasure.
I have a photo of it. Would you like to see?
Man.
Even Hillary Clinton isn't that sexually devious.
Oh.
What?
Sorry, what?
Say what?
What?
We're still waiting. I'm gonna kidnap Randy.
Can we not? Can we stop?
This is the studio staff is bored. We are waiting.
Tell the studio staff to shut the fuck up.
What was that?
Play more patriotic music.
God bless the United States of America.
God bless America. God bless. So, YouTube viewers, what are you thinking right now? I see on my end people are talking about the Electoral College and DMCA.
Well, looks like the FEC is in Hall's timeout corner.
Wait, what? What's happening? People getting killed. FEC is gathering, talking about shit.
Remember, the FEC does not exist.
No, why do you keep talking about pegging?
What did I miss while I'm playing patriotic music and you're talking about the term pegging?
Well, that's what
Monica
Jim
Lewinsky
talks about.
pegged Bill Clinton.
Buddy, I thought we are professional federal officials, servants of the people, and we're talking about pegging.
Listen to me.
We still have the First Amendment.
Listen to me. I'm just saying, if Joe Rogan can smoke weed on a podcast, we can talk about pegging on national television.
We'll be waiting for the results nationally to be released very, 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 very soon.
Come on, give us the results. Stop the count. Stop the vote.
Yeah, stop the count at this point.
Hey, YouTube chat, are you also listening? What are your thoughts? What are we going to talk about? YouTube. You're the only people we can. YouTube. We can only interact with the people on YouTube. Yeah. So, Morales, AJ, whoever is alive, whoever is listening, say something. Give us a topic. Anything.
Otherwise, we're going to keep playing patriotic music.
There's no limit to what we can talk about. We can talk about anything. Anything. Even Jim's fantasies. Anything. There's no limit. Especially, there's no limit to Jim's fantasies. So keep asking the questions. Keep asking those questions. We can also talk about Hersey, how he's doing.
Howdy.
We can talk about Ladarian and his return. We can talk about everything. What's happening? No, I don't want to set up professional audio. So yeah, what's Jim Fantasy? Okay, Jim, that's your new name, Jim Fantasy.
My name is Jim Butterson.
Yeah, but your nickname is now Jim Fantasy Butterson. Because you are with because you are with Monica Lewinsky. So, there's a lot of
I don't
fantasy
see
and.
what this has to do with my private life.
Hey, you're talking about IRP. So that's
IRPs in roleplay.
No,
Fuck. That's
wait.
not any better, is it?
That's not getting any better. What do you roleplay about? Do you roleplay?
There's Discord server called Virtual Congress.
No, do you role?
My son showed me what Discord is.
Do you
You have a
roleplay as
son?
Bill Clinton? Do you roleplay as Bill Clinton when you are with Monica Lewinsky? Do you say, "Yeah, please, just pretend this the Oval Office" to her? Jim, these are questions, and the people demand an answer.
What are the people asking?
Whether you roleplay as Bill Clinton when you are with your wife, Monica Lewinsky.
I do. I act like I'm the president of the United States.
And then when you are outside, you say, "I did not have sex with that woman."
No, I did have sexual relations with that woman, and there's proof and record of me saying that on national television. If I may pull up the imagery.
So does that mean that you are having an affair with Hillary Clinton?
I am not having an affair with Hillary Clinton.
But would you? Or her daughter? You can pick only one.
Her daughter, sure.
Okay. Any
Okay,
other
dude.
question? Hey, Brad, it's okay. It's all a fantasy, all right? You're not saying that he has to grab her,
I thought this was RP. Now it's turning to meta. Okay.
What?
Let's just count it half and half. All right.
That's what I was saying.
I don't know. It's not. What is meta? Is that a new drug?
Why did you
that's
assume
the
the
drug
term
that
meta
people
would be a new
use.
drug? That's the kind of a
Can
weird-
someone turn on screen sharing? I like to share my screen.
No. Sorry.
It's
that
it's
doesn't
nothing
happen.
bad. No, it's nothing bad.
No,
What are
I
you
don't
going
trust
to show me? What are you going to
It's
show
just
me?
it's literally a picture of myself.
You want to see a photo of myself? You want to? Oh wait, you're already seeing it. God damn, dude. Got him.
No, it's a different one. I need to show the audience this image.
Cold-hearted, dude. Literally, I'm waiting. I'm all waiting. Dude.
Oh,
Why is there
thank
so
you.
far people watching this? What are you doing?
4 people. Whoever is
people-
watching. What do
Here
you
we
want
go.
to know? We are going
Wait a
to
minute.
see what Jim is sharing.
Jim's going to show us.
I don't know.
Does it
thought I
mean
was-
that I am going to get banned from YouTube? We
No, I
already
don't know.
have
It's not. I don't know why it's not working.
the channel already has 1 strike. Okay.
Is it really?
Yes.
How?
How I shared the drone video footage, the last stream, and apparently one person didn't like the fact that I credited him in his own video, so he took.
Yeah,
it
okay,
down.
dude. How about we just don't credit anyone? You don't matter. No one matters. Okay.
I credited him. I even kept up the end screen. Jim
exactly.
Butterson has started screen sharing, but I can see. I can see it.
Yeah. How about I
I
can show
can't-
my
I-
face, dude? Show my.
I can't see it either.
I mean, Hersey can show his face. It's been
God
seen,
bless. I'll enjoy that.
It has been seen.
You
multiple
know,
times.
Dennis, fuck yeah. Can we get more press conferences with you? More in-person interviews? I need that in my life, okay?
Yeah. Jim
bless.
Butterson has started screen sharing. Okay, I see one viewer, Alexander Morales. Do you have any other questions that you need to know about?
Yeah,
Colin,
do you
could you
need to
pull
know
up, could you pull up the
anything about
image that
us,
I'm
dude?
screen? Can you pull up the screen sharing?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's very
I-
interesting, isn't it?
I can't see anything. We are going to end screen sharing. How the hell? Only the host can share. Okay, Hersey, say
Aha, that is
something.
very interesting.
How we
Very
Say
doing?
something, Hersey.
Oh wait a minute, I was gonna screen share.
Yeah, but Hersey has something to show.
Oh,
Face
then
to
I guess
face.
I'll show after.
Face to face.
Good
Hersey, show it.
Oh boy, I'm barely surviving, dude. I'll be real. It's been a long day.
Yes, Alexander. What do you want to know about him?
Yeah, what do you mean by Alexander? Dude, you come on, say something besides
Say,
Mm,
a question.
FEC has not give closure to the American people. The FEC is causing national emotional trauma. This is intolerable.
Oh boy. Well, I can hope you can answer my question in the chat.
Well, guys, that's Hersey. Life.
Hey, fucking Hersey over here, huh?
Alright, may I screen share now?
Okay, yeah, but it doesn't work.
Okay, you can screen share.
Let's see if it works. Multiple participants. Okay. Try it out. Knock yourself out. Jim, knock yourself out.
I'm trying. I don't.
Oh, I did have sexual relationships with that woman. Okay.
Oh, damn it! Didn't fit on the screen because you can't see the text.
Oh, damn, dude. What a bummer,
We can't
dude.
see the text. We can't see the text.
No. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta make it full screen.
Well, let me see your
I know
mama.
what I
How
must
about
do.
that? God, dude.
Hey,
Oh, I figured it out. All right, uno momento, por favor.
I did have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh, it didn't make it any more full screen. Oh wait. Oh yes, it did. Amazing. And there's proof.
Well, guys, he did it with Monica Lewinsky.
You know, I have a better idea. How about we have a live reaction to the raping of Nan King? I think that would
Sorry,
be
what? I'm sorry, what?
What? What?
I think we should have a live reaction to the raping of Nan King, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's going to give
I
my.
don't know how to stop screen sharing.
I know.
Oh wait, yes I do. Wait, yes I do. I figured it out now.
I know how to. One participant. And only the host. And that's the end of it.
I just figured it out. Thank you.
Okay, now I have to fix this. Now I have to fix the screen again.
You know what you have to fix?
I'm
How about
not-
we fix the FEC results?
I'm not
Not coming
getting
out.
paid for this by Hersey, people.
I'm not getting paid at all, dude. I'm dying.
So you guys
I'm
are getting
dying.
paid.
But you
Dying,
are
I'm
the
dying.
American Union. You can pay yourself.
Go pay yourself.
Yeah, go pay yourself, Brett. You work.
Yeah,
you-
go pay yourself.
Yeah, you
I'm
practice.
poor.
Take that
I'm
money
literally
and
poor, dude.
shove it right up.
Poor,
your wallet.
poor.
Well,
Take that money and shove it right into your wallet.
Then the American Union isn't doing financially well, isn't?
Oh, I saw you mean VC. Oh, we're doing okay.
Okay, but poor.
Oh, I saw you
Poor.
mean in real life, and yeah, I'm poor. Okay, maybe.
Hersey, we are doing better financially.
Hershey, you're rich. That's the thing.
I am rich, but man, am I poor.
Come on, we need the results.
I can't even talk to fucking Randy about it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing. Tawad is getting 2 more months, whether she likes it or not.
Does not like it.
Bless.
And if she can resign. Therefore, we have to play a little song. Hail to the chief, Miss Tawad. 2 more months, and then 2 more months, and then 2 more months. Dictator, Holy Tawad. Oh, hail the chief. Dictator Howard. Right? That's how it works, right? If no president is elected in time, then Howard will remain president until the end of times. Hail America. God bless America. God bless the new dictatorship of America at Holy Tower. blame the Democrats. When all fails, blame the Democrats. Yes, Alexander Morales, what do you want to know about the Vietnam War? The fall of Saigon or the rape of Nanking? Whatever it is.
At this
Okay.
point, I want to do monkey sounds. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to do random monkey sounds. At this point, we kind of lost the RP aspect. Like, I just want to do
What
monkey.
is an RP?
What is
What do you
RP? Rectal
Hersey,
pleasure.
stop acting like this is still RP. This is clearly meta now.
Yeah, we
RP.
clearly lost it, dude.
Yeah, fuck the meta RP divide.
I'm gonna find some sound for it.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, dude. People are weird. You know, people are extremely weird. I'm not a big fan of people, if I'm being honest.
Thoughts on the fall of Sargon?
Well,
my thoughts on the fall of Sargon is, well, it happened.
The recall is in.
Okay, here
We're
we
about
go.
to see
This
it.
is the end
oh
of
my
the-
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Finally!
Holy shit!
Holy
We are
shit!
back.
Holy shit!
We have two
I-
viewers. We have two viewers, but
two viewers, dude. God bless. Actually,
God bless you two people. God bless.
All to see this. All to see this. God, why do you like us, dude? I don't know. Come on,
Give me
this
some
is
money.
all gonna be out soon, or we're just gonna put Randy on a pike. You know.
Olympia recount.
I'll be honest. I'm not expecting much to change here. I think.
No, I feel like
Cross-
we're wasting our time. If I'm being
No, this
I got
is.
them.
Cross will be elected our president. Like I said.
President Cross.
Yep.
Yep, basically, yep. We stayed here only for nothing to change, and Cross is the president elect.
Cross wins
of the-
again. And because of that, we have to show this screen.
Finally, let's go, baby. We get to show the screen. The screen, dude.
Well, of course, Jake Taylor isn't vice president because that's up to the Senate. You know, maybe the Senate can say, well, we didn't want Cross, but we put in Vice President Konnor Harris. It's always possible. Always possible, people. Never say
Dang,
never.
the graphics look really good, dude. Gonna be real.
Never say never. You know, it could be President Cross and Vice
That
President
graphic's not
Harris.
even right.
Why? Why not? It's president.
Well, yeah, but Jake Taylor wasn't elected vice president.
Yeah, but this was before. You know, they ran on the same ticket. God damn it. I'm not perfect. I'm not getting paid. My interns are not getting paid either. You know, you get the quality that you don't pay for. Jim.
Exactly. You.
Well, everyone, we were going to have some fun, but it seems that Cross has won the presidency. You know, a Republican in office, which is great news. Great news. It's not so great for Pluribus, but it's great news for Cross.
Yes, sir, dude. Yes, sir. All right, I think
There's
I would
only
be
one
feeling
song
it.
we can play right now. One song. One song. Hail to the new chief. Hail to the new chief. God bless America, people. God bless.
was.
Well, who's still here? Hersey is still here.
Alright.
Jim is still here. Ladarian is still here, I think. Ladarian, please say something. Are you there, Ladarian? Come here. Final remarks. Okay, Ladarian is not here. Brad, final remarks.
Well, I think Cross, he ran a good campaign. It was a very close, tightly race, but he definitely came out on top when it definitely mattered the most, especially in Olympia. So I think it was a very close race for Flores. Tough, but seeing how much he won by the popular vote, though, that's definitely something people will remember, and probably a good push from the Welsh Electoral College.
Jim, final remarks.
God bless America.
God bless.
And I mean, it's been a wonderful election stream. And also, never forget.
Never forget.
Never
Stick
forget.
around. We have some nice live pictures from New York. Hersey, last remark, final remark. It's your time to shine.
Cross, this is not the way I expected it to go. I will be completely honest. But Cross is an experienced man. I wish him the best. And if he succeeds, these United States succeed.
Yes.
God bless the virtual Congress of the United States.
Okay. Okay, we are all in safe hands, both people, my final remarks here. Both people were very, very experienced. Let's not forget that. Yeah, they have done some things in the past that may have not been the best choice, Speaker Cross may have made some mistakes. And Pluribus has made some mistakes as well, But they are both very experienced, and America is in great hands. God bless the United States. And let's go to the ending credits, like always. With
God
some
bless.
music.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Very much fun. Good stream. I can't complain.
Yes.